I won't delay, just to make a couple of observations, if I may. That's Count Corla. Minister, I think that if there's an opportunity for Ireland to opt in and to have some influence on the process, I think that's what we should do, obviously. I would point out to you, and you've highlighted the need yourself, the number of work permits that we've been issuing, 31,000. But I would say to you, and I think you're aware of this, there are changes coming in the work permit scheme, which is raising the base rate of pay. And I have a concern just about that in terms of how work permits are working for all sectors of the economy. And I understand that we want to arrive at, a reasonable wage and a reasonable minimum and a living wage for people. We need to do that also. But we also need to remain competitive in the country. And I think it's even a case where people are coming in on the lower level of work permit. That doesn't mean that's all they're getting paid, or people are getting bonuses and getting overtime. So we need to be looking at that in terms of a sectoral way. The other thing, I think obviously this would, if as I understand it, is to be worked out, this would offer Irish people obviously the opportunity to go and work in another EU country potentially if they were to sign up to this. But I understand the main drive is to allow people from third countries access into the EU markets, and this is probably something reflective of the Australian system, of the point system of years ago for accessing work in Australia. But I would point out to you, Minister, and I'm sure you've had these communications yourselves, we have a significant number of people here already who are qualified, some of them even in medicine and in law, who cannot get registration approval here. And it's terrible to think that we've got people who are, college educated, let's say for instance a doctor, and I've had a couple of those, and senior specialist nurses, and they're doing catering jobs because we haven't found a pathway for them to get authorised to work at their qualified level. And I think we should be doing that firstly. Another point I'd make to the Minister, which is not news to you, is our housing shortage, which is a significant impediment to bringing in skills into the country. The skills that we need, and also being able to offer people a pathway into housing, into home ownership. And that applies to our own people here as well, some of them who are migrating for the very same reason, that they feel that they're not going to get on a property ladder. So I think, part of our difficulty, yes, we are at full employment, but I think if we look, and even in my own region of the South East, the recent CSO data would show you that the job quality is not what it is in other regions of the country. It is poor performing, and that could be improved, obviously, if we could get, better sustainable housing, higher class jobs, and they're all part of, I suppose, the difficulties we have in the economy at present. But in the main, Minister, I would say, look, if we have a way of solving part of the problems which we have to solve, which is providing skills to our economy, which is at full employment, I think certainly we should look at that. We should opt in and then figure out if we can look at the policy, if it's a good idea. But I don't think at the same time it should be a slam dunk that we say let's opt in and let's implement this directive whenever it's done. I think we should be taking a cautious look at that.